Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Friday, June 4th, and I'm Bitcoin Steven here with the BTC Guru, and we are
Hello,
live
Steve.
today. Hey, before we get started, the BTC Guru and I are going to be putting on an amazing 6-week training for anyone who is looking to create a fortune in the next 12 months in digital currency, even if you don't know anything about digital currency. If you're interested in that, head over to www.earnwhileyoulearn.io and check it out. All right, now I'm going to throw it back to you. And what do we got today?
Yeah, that's we it's like the second time this week I think we went live, so we got a lot of time between our last show and this one where there's been a lot of incredible headlines.
Right.
And I'll tell a quick story, and then we'll jump into that. A buddy of mine he works at this gym. He lives in South Dakota, and the gym owner, a few months ago, he was talking to the gym owner about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and specifically, and the guy invested in Bitcoin, and then when they work out, the owner comes over and talks to him, so he's educating himself while he's investing, and he came to my buddy yesterday, and basically says, I can't believe this Bitcoin is incredible. I went ahead and paid off my student loans, and I'm taking my $400 a month I was paying in the student loans, and I'm putting it into Bitcoin. He says, and I calculated in 5 years, I could have almost $4.5 million in my account based on the conservative projections. He's all, and I go out on the street and nobody knows about Bitcoin. He's all, this is just the beginning. And my buddy's like, you finally got it. And he's all, and all this fear that the mainstream media is putting out, it doesn't exist in the Bitcoin world. And my buddy's like, okay, you're doing exactly what we're trying to do here. Is you're educating yourself, you're doing critical thinking, and you're providing for the future of you and your family. And so I thought that's a great way to kick today's show off, because there's many different ways while you're going on this journey of learning about Bitcoin that you can earn. And a real simple way is there's a very secure private browser called the Brave browser. You can download the Brave browser, and the Brave browser, I'll put it in the little comments here. Brave will allow you to attach a Ethereum wallet to it, and then while you're going across and surfing the internet, which you do all the time, you earn little micro payments of cryptocurrency. So that's one way to earn while you're learning. I mean, how do you learn it? How do we learn these days, Steve?
Internet, right? Yeah, you just get out there and start, asking people questions and talking to people that know things that you don't know. I think that's one of the most important things. And it's amazing because the more of these things that you come across, the more all of a sudden, you get somebody to give you a call, and, you get a heads up on something else that's going on. It's crazy. And remember, wasn't it just a few months ago, we were hearing about GameStop all the time in the Reddit forums, right? And they were talking about how the average people out there were banding together and they drove the stock crazy. One of the big headlines I saw is GameStop is going to get heavily into the NFTs, which makes a lot of sense with video games. But I mean, that's going to be another just amazing, that's a company again starting to think outside the box and say, how can we utilize this technology now, and how can we make our business better? And those are the kind of questions that business owners need to be asking themselves, right, Doug?
Yeah, absolutely. And on that same subject, AMC was one of the other companies that we the people were buying and holding along with the GameStop. And AMC is now one of the largest theatrical companies as far as net worth goes, because they're doing so well. In fact, if you're a stockholder, you could go in and get free popcorn. If you prove that you're a stockholder, you get free popcorn when you go to the movies there. So they're giving back. And the reason why I bring this up is it's the power of us, the people. We don't have to put up with what's been shoved down our throat, because we have more power than they do. And that's the beauty of the blockchain, because it actually supports and gives us a foundation for our power. And it gives us the ability to walk in confidence and say, no, I'm not going to participate in that old way of debt, leading with debt, which is what the central bank and the centralized system does. I'm going to lead with real assets and take my hard-earned money and multiply it in a safest fashion as I can.
Yeah, and that's why learning about this stuff you start to read all about the things about DeFi and the things that are going on with DeFi. And that's decentralized finance. And I think one of the things that's really important to understand out there is that probably 75% of the people in the world don't have access to a bank, okay, where they can actually even go get a bank account. And like with the DeFi, I mean, if you buy and start to accumulate Bitcoin and other digital currencies, you could literally go out and leverage that, okay, borrow against it immediately, where other people out there in the world can't even go out and borrow anything anywhere because they just can't do it, right? So this gives everybody the opportunity to be able to play the game the same way. So the more you get into this, you can learn to leverage some of that and actually, borrow money that you can use to put into some other things and make it grow and really pay attention. So, I mean, the opportunities are so big for those who come in and pay attention. They really are.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you ever walked to the bank and try to get a loan and like, first of all, you feel like you got to be on your knees and beg. They give you a stack of paperwork that's about 5 inches thick.
Right.
And they go through every anal of your past and your being, and maybe they'll give it to you or maybe they won't, even if you have security. The beauty with the blockchain, there's many companies out there that you just put up your cryptocurrency, and the next minute you got some fiat cash that you can go and do what you need to do with it. Obviously, be smart about debt. Do you only use smart debt? Do you use debt to grow more equity? Don't use debt to just party and stuff like that. But
right.
We'll get on that road. But just my point is, in this new decentralized blockchain Bitcoin world, you're able to do stuff that you couldn't do before, and it's a lot easier.
Everybody has the opportunity, right? I mean, everybody can play, okay? But if you're going to play, first of all, you got to understand the game, right? So we have to educate ourselves about what the game is really all about out there and what the opportunities are, and then take it seriously. But one of the articles that I was reading that I thought was actually really good, the guy was talking about the DeFi, and he said, because the people can leverage it, they can do all this kind of stuff. A lot of people, he says the only way to really understand it is go put $300 or $500 into one of these things and go do it and leverage it up and see what you can do. Then the most you could do is risk or lose is, $300 or $500 or whatever it is you decide to do. Right. But that's how you get into the game, and that's how you play, and that's how you learn to you begin to see it. And then you'll start finding, following other people around and learning, okay, about the next thing that's going out right now. Okay. And you're going to get maybe caught up in that little initial hype of it, where you can go and you can buy some stuff and you can really make some quick turns on things. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. And if you love charts, there's the crypto world's awesome. Here's what I love about the crypto world. Back in the day when I was trading options and stuff, and I did pretty good, but it was nerve wracking. And plus, I only had from 9 a.m. Eastern time till 1 p.m.
The clock was really important. The clock was always on your mind, right?
Yeah, and I could only do it 5 days a week.
Right.
So if I missed a couple of days or missed my goals, I got it kind of made me the following week not follow my rules because I got to risk a little bit more because I got to make up for what happened last week. The beauty about cryptocurrency, it's 24/7, 7 days a week. So if you want to trade on a Saturday at 1 a.m, you can. If you want to trade at Sunday after dinner, you can do that too. That's one of the things I love. And so talking about like the Brave browser is one way that you can earn while you learn. There's Norton announced that basically embedded in their Norton tools. Now Norton, is a antivirus protection software and security software that kind of protects your computers, which is great. So they're in the crypto world already. And so now what they're doing with their vast user base is they're going to allow anybody who downloads and purchases the Norton software to participate in a Ethereum staking pool. So while you're, everybody's computer's attached to the internet pretty much 24/7, right? So as you're in the internet doing what you do every day with surfing and Facebook or whatever you're doing, tweeting or ticking, talking, or I don't know what you're doing. Hopefully nothing worse than that. You can have and you got the Norton software. You can be staking Ethereum as time goes on. So it's another way. And go look at the news. They just announced this. I'm pretty much sure it was this morning or the yesterday. But it's another way that you can earn while you're learning.
Right. Yeah. And there's so many different things that you can do. I got a call from my
brought
son.
me some coffee. Is that awesome or what?
There you go.
Go ahead.
I got a call from my son yesterday, and he was saying, "Hey, Dad, check this thing out." For those anybody who's interested, it's called Dire Wolf. Now, I'm not saying go buy it or whatever. I'm just saying this is what happened to me. He called me up and he said, "Dad," he said, "I put like $200 in this thing, a couple days ago, and it's already about $1,000." He goes, "You should check it out." I'm like, "All right, sure." So it's like I went in, put some in there yesterday, and it's worth about 40% more than it was already. I mean, you get some things like that start to happen, and you start to pay attention to this world and this market and this thing that we're living in, and you can turn a little bit of money into a lot of money, really quickly, and really help yourself and benefit. But it's like, the only way you're ever going to be able to take advantage of that is you have to increase your knowledge. You have to understand all of this. Now, am I saying that I know everything about the DeFi stuff? I know absolutely nothing about it, okay? Except some very, very limited things which I've read, but that's going to, it's going to take me now to another level of going deeper and learning more about it and how I can utilize this and how it can work for me, okay? And I think that's one of the whole things we got to understand here. And that's one of the things I'm excited about when Doug and I do this training together, we do the 6-week masterclass, is, we understand that everybody is in a different spot. Okay. We're not all in the same spot in our knowledge base of what we know and what we don't know. Right. So, we're really excited about being able to take people from where they are to where they need to go and help them plot that way and really get that course and figure it all out, because everybody's in a little bit different spot. And, it's important to be around other people that know things that you don't know. Some of the most successful times in the most successful times in my life have been because of the mastermind groups that I've been involved with, and, spending time with people that are just, such brilliant people that are facilitating these groups and being around people that know things that you don't know. It's pretty powerful. You've been in a lot of those groups, haven't you, Doug?
Oh, absolutely. The mastermind whole mastermind concept and activity, it's a proven business technique that helps everybody. That synergy that happens, and that other thing that happens, that when a group of like minds get together, it's absolutely amazing. And when you got people in the group that know something about something that you don't know, you acquire that knowledge, and that's kind of why Steve and I are here too, is that to help you in this blockchain future, which is our future. I don't want to pound too much on the whole current banking system, but it's imploding right now. If you're paying attention at all, and hopefully you're turning off the news, if you hear the same thing all over the world, then that's mostly likely the opposite's happening. So just turn it off for a week and just use your critical mind and just look what's going on in reality out there. It's imploding. The debt giant has to fall and rebuild itself every 50 plus years, and we're right at that space right now. The cool thing, before they had to do something like a war or a pandemic or something like that to cause us to constrict our activities, because they don't want to give up anything. They want us to constrict and lose, and so they can be rebuilt. And it's all in the labor of us, we the people. The beauty now is we have something that is not an idea, but it's already in place, called the blockchain, called Bitcoin, that can replace the system in a second and hit the ground running, and everything's fine. Nobody's going to take a huge hit. And so that's one of the main reasons why I do this show with you, Steve, is to educate people that there is an alternative out there. It's real easy to get into. Download the Brave browser. Just start go get a Ethereum wallet or whatever wallet they can attach. I don't know the list of all of them, and just start surfing and earning.
Absolutely, and you can go the same. You can go the same places. You can go with Google and everything. I mean, with like Chrome and stuff like that, right? Chrome and Safari.
Well, in about a week, you're going to hear an announcement that Coinbase has signed a deal with Google to have a plug-in into Chrome where you can earn cryptocurrency while you're surfing in Chrome. Yeah, so it's happening all over the place. Apple, we talked about on Monday's show with that, I said, hey, pay attention. Apple is probably going to start jumping in there. Well, there's already an article out that says there's a rumbling that Apple will be entering the cryptocurrency world big time. So this is all. Now is a better time. And I think we, at least I want to close on this. You could continue. We can continue on whatever you want to do, but the price right now, it's hitting this bottom and it's not going lower. And if it does that a couple more times, then we're kind of done with this sideways action, and it's going to go up. And I believe, this is my personal opinion, no advice. It's going to hit 80,000 per Bitcoin really, really fast. And then you will see from there. I haven't done much study past that. Well, I have, but I don't want to talk about it. So it's imperative that you jump in and you jump in as soon as possible, in my personal opinion. And the prices of the altcoins, and I'll give you a list of altcoins that I love. I love ADA, which is Cardano's altcoin. In fact, I'm in the company I'm CTO. We're moving our whole blockchain over to Cardano's blockchain. That's how wonderful I think it is. If you just go look at the press, they're all over the internet. Do your own research. All that good stuff. Not giving you advice. Love ADA. I love a cryptocurrency alt currency called 1inch. And the only reason I love them, they have a nice little roll to them. And they got, so you buy when it's lower and you sell when it's higher. And it's easy to get. It's in a ton of exchanges. There's SafeMoon, and there's the Wolf one that you talked about. And obviously Ethereum is a great one too. So go look at those. Do your research on those, and if there's something you like or you're interested in a certain industry, for as bad as Dogecoin is, it's here to stay now. It's there's too much momentum behind it. I'm talking, Tesla, Elon, and Cuban. They're using it in their operations. So pretty much that's probably going to be a good coin in the future too. It's going to have some wild swings. So you got to hold on. But so look at these things. You could, if you are starting at nothing or just starting at where you're at, and you want to grow into something that you've never been to, this is one way you can do it in a very short amount of time. I talk too much. I'll throw it back to you, Steve.
But yeah, I mean, you've done it yourself, right, Doug? I mean, you've really kind of
absolutely
taken the last year and used some of the leverage factors that you're able to use, and really turn that into
about a year ago, I had to start over. I had to start over from almost nothing. I'm blessed. I praise God every morning I wake up that I get to live where I live. I get the view that I got a view. And everybody's all, you still in that crazy crypto world? And as I'm looking at the bay and these huge yachts going by, I go, yeah, I sure am. Thank you.
Sure am. Yeah, it's a great place to be. And, it's a place where the average guy, the average person out there can go absolutely get wealthy, okay, learning the right things here, because we're able to participate in things like, if you compare it to the IPOs, right, which is where, they say that, you can make a lot of money in an initial public offering, right? Well, first of all, you got to have hundreds of millions of dollars typically to even invest in something like that. And those, right. And so we can't even get into those kinds of things, where here you can get into things. And again, in the stock world, you can't take a little bit and turn it into a lot. There's been so many different instances where people have turned $250 into hundreds of thousands of dollars or something, just because they get into the right little thing and play around with it. And it's like, most of us can go out and afford to, throw a couple $100 here and there and that, right? But rather not a couple thousand at a time, maybe in the stocks, and then still, what are you doing? You got your big commissions on top of everything. And it's like, the opportunities are just unbelievable. And, like I said, this levels the playing field for everybody. Okay. Everybody out there now. I mean, guys, if your money's getting directly deposited into your bank, and, it's digital currency, it's cash that's going in there, right? Your buying power gets to be less. I mean, you could get that if you could negotiate to get paid in Bitcoin. You could actually have that and now have the ability to go leverage other opportunities that are out there, that are opportunities that are costing pennies, okay? That you could, those pennies can turn into dollars, okay?
Yeah. So just on that real quick, Steve, let's get you get paid in Bitcoin, and you get one Bitcoin, and you take 10% of that Bitcoin and you pull that money out but through the borrowing, which is tons of websites. Nexo.io is one of them. That's the one I use. And you buy more Bitcoin. So now that one Bitcoin became 1.1 Bitcoin. And if you do that every time, it takes, what is a Buffett say? It's compounding is where it's at, buy and hold and compound, right?
Oh yeah. Would you rather have $1,000 a day for 30 days, or would you rather have a penny doubled every day for 30 days?
Right.
So you want the penny doubled every day, right?
Yeah. Go get a spreadsheet, put in that, do that whole thing. And you'll see how fast you get up to $10 billion with just a penny. You can use that same concept in the crypto world and reinvest it yourself, but very conservatively. Obviously, there's, when you leverage something, you always take that risk that if there's a fall that they'll, your margin calls stuff. So just be careful, don't over leverage. But you can take small leverage positions and grow your wealth extremely, extremely quickly. And then, with the gains, you pay off the debt and you start all over again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's an opportunity for everybody out there. And because of this pandemic, people have been sitting in front of their computers anyways, right? So instead of just surfing the internet and looking at other stuff, find the stuff that's important that can really help you, okay? That can help further you. And literally, I mean, the class that we're putting on, for anyone who wants to learn how to create a fortune in the next 12 months, even if you know nothing about digital currency, head over to earnwhileyoulearn.io, watch the video there. Take a look at the class that Doug and I are going to be putting on. It's going to be unbelievable, okay? We're going to kind of customize it for each one of the people that go through there and make it what they need it to be for them, okay? It's going to be a lot of fun.
As soon as you sign up, one of the first things we do is set up a time and we talk to you in person to see what your goals and help you with your goals if you're having trouble figuring out your goals.
Find out where you are, right? We got to figure out where
and then find out where you want to go, and then we help you get there.
We'll help you get there. I mean, whether it is your regular business that you've got, okay, or
you're starting something for nothing,
or you're starting something and moving into this kind of direction. I mean, that's what we do. That's what I've been doing is business consulting for the last 20 years. And, one of the other things that you have the opportunity to do with this is you'll be able to participate with the other people that are in the class, okay? And we'll be able to do these kinds of, some of the things about a mastermind or how this kind of thing works is one of the things we'll do is kind of a hot seat. And so if anybody's been having a problem with their business that they haven't been able to solve on their own, we use the collective genius of the group to help solve those problems, And another thing that we do is, when we have a meeting together, where we all get together, we make sure that everybody comes and they've got to come out and let everybody know what has been the thing that's impacted their business the most in the last 6, 8, 10 months. What's helped you get the most new customers, the most referrals, generate the most recurring revenue, things like that. And so people come up and, you get successful business owners starting to tell you what's really been working for them. You hear that a whole bunch of times and you start thinking about, wow, look at all these different kinds of things. Now I have a lot of things that I could probably use in my business, but even better than that, not only do I have the strategies, I have access to the people that have already successfully implemented these. Okay.
Yep.
And this is critical to have that kind of access. So this is going to be.
I'll give you an example. Right here at the end of this, there's a gentleman out there. He's a business consultant. His name's Mr. Clark. He is referral only. He over the last few years have helped his clients grow his businesses 30-40% in COVID time. Okay, millions and millions of dollars. And here's what happened. They came to him right at the beginning of the COVID and said, "Hey, if I have to shut my business down in COVID, how am I going to live? How am I going to earn? How am I going to keep my employees?" And they did this basically in a hot seat type of environment, and they came up with 4 or 5 different techniques at the beginning of this is before COVID, right before the pandemic started, and every one of those guys in his group made more money during COVID than they did beforehand. And it was all because they went the hot seat, they put the question out there, they put their heads together, they figured something out, they implemented, tweak, implement, and they did it.
Yeah, and that's critical. And that's going to be, the people that go through this first training with us is going to be real exciting because, we probably won't be doing this training live again. Once we do it, we're going to record it, we're going to package it up, and people are going to be able to buy it. And, then they're going to be able to go through that training. But, to be able to participate and be, our goal is to everybody that comes in and goes through our training, we want to have you be so successful and have wanting to do testimonials before the class even starts. Okay. And, that's one of the things we do is, the class is going to be in about 6 weeks. We talk to you now, we figure out where you're at. We start to help get you on a path there to where you're starting to already go into where you're going, with the goal having you already made more money back than what it cost, for the class before the class starts. Now you're in there in a really good spot. And, I've done this in the past, and, most of the time, Doug, I mean, I'm sure things that you've done the same as I have, you go spend $5,000-$10,000 to go to a live event, right?
Oh yeah.
And you give the money.
There's 1 year I spent over
$90
for real estate events only. Go ahead.
Yeah, you give them the money, and the event's 90 days out, and you don't hear from anybody for 85 days.
Yeah.
Okay, with us, what we're going to do is we're going to really be working with the people there and trying to really get you going in the right direction, get in the direction that you want to go, right? And then just making sure and just keep working together. So this is going to be an amazing opportunity. I encourage anybody who really wants to make a big impact in your life in the next 12 months to head over to earnwhileyoulearn.io. Watch the video. If you got questions, we're here every day. Come back, answer the questions, and it's we can make the last 6 months of this year pretty amazing, because I think there's a lot of amazing things that are going to happen in front of us. And if you can get in and learn how to position yourself and take advantage of this, you could make a lot of money in the next 6 months, and Christmas could be a really great time for you and your family.
Absolutely.
All right. I think that's about all we got for today. We will be back again live tomorrow morning about 8 or not. Tomorrow's Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Just watch our websites over the weekend. We'll be posting on a daily basis. We'll be posting posts with helpful hints and interesting information along with these live streams. So keep coming back, subscribe, like, all the good stuff for us. Tell your friends about it, because the power is in us, the people. So the more of us we have that are educated, the better.
Yeah. And, if you like what we're doing, please share it with others. Please tell others, please comment about it. It means, we're doing this every day to try and help you guys out and trying to help you, come to a different level and realize the opportunities that are out there. So thanks for your time today. We really appreciate you guys watching, and we will hope you have a great weekend, and we will talk to you Monday morning.